Hello and welcome to episode 6 of Shy Sox Talk. My name is Chris, here with my co-host Matt. How are you doing tonight, Matt?
I am doing wonderful. Sorry for the delay on the episode coming out Friday instead of Thursday. It is my fault, so I apologize. I had too many drinks last night.
Like a true Chicagoan. Plans change because of that from time to time. Like a real Southsider.
Yeah, duck, go. If anyone's in Chicago, give it a try. Food's delicious.
Yeah, it was my last meal there, I think. At least with you.
Yeah, your last meal before death row, before they put you on death row.
Yeah, I'm doing this from prison. They just let me do it. So tonight, not a whole lot happening in the baseball world, obviously with the lockout. So we got a couple viewer questions. We always appreciate everybody who sends those in. And then we decided to do a fun episode and kind of do our all-time White Sox lineup. Matt and I are kind of going off two different rules here. Mine is players that have about 200 games at least played. So maybe traded a deadline, played a full season after. Matt, what is your lineup based off of?
They just played for the White Sox. Ever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hell
so,
yeah.
Pretty fun.
Awesome. So, yeah, let's get into this. Listener of the show at MLB Genius, who do you currently think is the best player on the White Sox?
Best player on the White Sox currently, like going off of last season, I'm gonna say Tim Anderson. But I think moving into next year with a full season under his belt, it's gonna be Lewis Robert. He's 5-tooler. He is amazing in the field, like unbelievable. Makes every play look routine. And he opened up the stance and was murdering the baseball last season. So very excited to see him moving forward. But currently, he's got to dethrone our boy Timmy. He's the best right now.
Yeah, TA7 was the best shortstop in Chicago, the city of it, all year, even before the trade deadline. Regardless of what anybody said, he's the heart and soul of the team. But moving forward, it's going to be Luis. Book it. Anybody who makes bets, Luis Robert is going to be like plus 4,000 for MVP. Go ahead, cash in on that because the kid is a stud and overlooked for whatever
reason. Not sure what. Maybe because he got hurt. I think people kind of forgot about him.
Plays on the wrong side of Chicago. That's why. That's the only reason.
Probably.
Got a second question here from our listener Emily. What do you think of Tim Anderson, Matt?
He's a hunk. That's what I think.
Very, very handsome young man.
He's a babe. And he can just hit, which is great.
Yeah, great leadoff guy. Just a good thing to look at the start of a baseball game.
Beautiful man. He's very handsome.
And from our listener Lucas, with the CBA underway here, what do you think of the two division proposals that the players had? So 2 divisions, 8 and 8 eventually, because it gave room for the MLB to expand 2 teams. Each division winner goes into the playoffs. 4 wildcard teams can be from either division. Would be the wildcard teams, all from same split, whatever that might be.
I kind of like kind of how the divisions are set up currently. I think it's kind of top loaded with like the Yankees and the Red Sox, like get every free agent and have, huge market to spend in. But whatever ends up expanding the playoffs, I think is best for us, the fans. So many teams that are like middle tier teams end up tanking at the trade deadline. They make it, halfway through the year and they're maybe, you just look at the Cubs last year, they were only 4 games under 500 and they traded away their whole team. If they had more playoff spots, I don't think they blow up that team. They may have still blown up the team because, a lot of those guys were pending free agents. But at the same time, they might have gone for one last run there and done something if they made the playoffs. I think it's better for the fans to expand the playoffs. I know there's a lot of purists that won't agree with that, but I think it's much more fun to have more teams competing throughout the year.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at even like a team like Pittsburgh or Baltimore, everything has to be right for them for their ownership to like try for a season. The sport is really, really top loaded right now. I actually was thinking about this, and I kind of wish they would go into 4 divisions. So like maybe a Northeast, Southwest, AL, NL kind of thing. Division winner gets in, and then you can pick how many wild card teams you want from there. But I also think if they went to a 2 division thing, that kind of messes up the White Sox World Series window a little bit, because right now they're in a division that they can win for like the next 3 or 4 years. And if they all of a sudden were in a division with the Yankees or the Astros, Mariners, that changes what like the plan is. That changes a lot.
Yeah, I mean, they can kind of cruise through the regular season if it kind of turns out like last year, if the Tigers don't make that jump and the Royals kind of stay where they are. I think Cleveland, cross your fingers and knock on wood, I think they might be worse next year. So, and the Twins are not looking great moving forward. They can kind of cruise control through the regular season, it looks like, hopefully for the next couple of years. So hopefully they don't screw that up, but it wouldn't be the first time the Sox were cursed with timing. So, we've seen that happen plenty of times already.
Just watch Tristan McKenzie become like the next dominant AL Cy Young every year pitcher out of nowhere, just because
he looked good every time he pitched against the White Sox.
It's gonna be brutal. I don't know what they're putting something in the water over there. I don't know. I mean, even if they're in a division with like the Mariners and Houston, or I'd be more worried about being in the East and the West. Even if they're in the West, that's a division where they could win games if that were to happen. The rumor I saw was that Tampa would end up staying in Tampa, and they would just add a team in Montreal, which kind of forces the White Sox to the West. But it would be bad to be in the East every year with like the Yankees.
More 9 p.m. starts if they were playing more West Coast teams, which, depending on how you're feeling that night, that's kind of a good thing or a bad thing.
I mean, I'll tell you what, those West Coast series were hard for Chris here.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, I currently live on the East Coast, and those 10:30 first pitches were tough on a Wednesday night.
That's tough.
I would just wake up in the morning and check the app and be like, please.
Definitely falling asleep watching that game.
Awesome. Yeah, man. I mean, hopefully they keep the divisions where they are now. Hopefully they keep the divisions where they are now, and maybe even do what they did 2 years ago, 2020, where the top 2 got in and then 2 wild cards, and then had,
I thought
basically
that was really cool. I thought that was so fun.
And then the 3 games all at home. Could you imagine 3 wild card games against, I don't know, Boston, Tampa, Minnesota, the Indians on the South Side? That would be nuts. All in for it.
It was very fun. The more teams in, the better, because there's so many teams that tank now. It's just like not a fun product.
Yeah. And there's way more that goes into the CBA that's going to adjust that, especially with like this luxury cap thing. Obviously the players don't want a lower luxury cap because that hurts how they get paid, but that's kind of better for the fans because it's gonna, like, the Dodgers aren't going to be able to have 7 Cy Young starting pitchers with 2 of them coming out of the bullpen. It's just not going to be possible.
Yeah, I saw some interesting proposals. I was reading an article in The Athletic today about changing the way the draft works. So and this was just a journalist proposal, not from the Players Association or the owners or anything. But they said that the first 5 teams out of the playoffs should be the first 5 draft picks. So, you're kind of incentivized to not tank and try and be as close to making the playoffs as possible.
I actually,
which I think
really
is
like
crazy,
that.
but it's kind of cool.
That'd be sick because, I mean, think about a team that's rebuilding, that's on like the edge. That opens up a World Series window, 2 or 3 extra seasons, because you might be losing a guy, but because you're on the fringe
if
there.
that was the case, if that's how the draft worked, I don't think the White Sox would have ever traded Chris Sale and Jose Quintana, because they would have been getting top draft picks, because they were kind of just missing the playoffs a couple times when Sale and Quintana's arms fell off at the end of the year, like for like 2 or 3 years. So that would have been, it would have been pretty cool to get like a top pick out of that.
Yeah, and you know who would have been really cool to have? Tatis Jr.
Or Bryce Harper.
Or the Juan Soto thing is actually something that bothers me, and I'll forever be mad at the Nationals for it. So their little, he already signed with us stunt, and then the White Sox pulled their offer when he really didn't sign with them. That could be a made up story, but I believe it. And
that's got a lot of Yinzer flavor to that story.
Western PA kind of, it might be. Alrighty. So let's get into the meat here. I'll let you go first. Start any position you want to go with, Matt. Who do you got?
So I'll start off. Let's go with my first baseman, and my first baseman in this lineup does have a designated hitter. Just keep that in mind. First baseman is going to be Jim Thome.
Oh,
Big Jim Thome.
I thought you were going to go with Paul Konerko.
I was thinking about Paul Konerko because he's like, the mascot basically for the White Sox, and he's a World Series champion, but there's no room for him on this team.
Yeah, I was going to go with Paul Konerko, but I was looking at the lineup, and I thought we needed a little bit of left-handed balance in there. So I went with big-time Jim Thome as well. Just look at the career stats here. We got a career 73.1 WAR, pretty good. 276 batting average, 402 OBP, OPS plus of 147 for the career, and the man walked away with what was it, like 500 home runs plus, right? He had
500 something, yeah, 500.
612. 600 home runs. All right, let's go.
I believe he hit his 500th home run with the White Sox.
Yeah, and 600th with Minnesota, right?
I think so.
I believe, right? Minnesota. Yeah,
I think that was the last team he was on, was the Twins.
Baltimore, 2012.
Oh, yeah, I forgot he was on the Orioles.
And the Phillies and Toronto.
Oh, I remember him being on the Phillies. I don't remember him being on Toronto.
Yeah, Toronto twice. He played for LA.
What?
Yeah, we got
the Blue Jays.
2009, he had 17 games with the LA. 2009, he also had 124 games. Oh, total. That's total. I
knew it. I knew
it. Ooh, rough. That's rough. I was like, I don't think he played for Toronto, but I guess total he played. Yeah, he was with the Dodgers.
No, I don't remember the Dodgers.
Baltimore.
Only 17 games on the Dodgers, huh?
Yeah, he batted pretty good for Baltimore though. Short stint. Hit a couple. Didn't hit any of them. Hit a couple out of the park. 3 out of the park. 257. That was it. And he was like, I'm done.
He said, I'm done. I'm done hitting home runs.
Steve Stone pitched here, and I needed to finish my career here. All right, I'm gonna go left field. Another left-handed, superstar for the White Sox, Harold Baines. I am dyslexic. Harold Baines.
That's why I got you. I got you on the back up there. No problem. Yeah, he's a good player. He's my dad's favorite, all-time favorite White Sox player. So, Hall of Famer. I think a lot of people will maybe argue that he doesn't deserve that honor, but can't take him out once he's in, so he's in.
22-year career. Who do you got?
Left field, I have a little guy. He's probably should be a Hall of Famer. Probably won't be because of PEDs and things like that. But my left fielder is the one and only Manny Ramirez.
Let's go.
And I think he played like 20 games on the White Sox.
Man, it counts. He was on the White Sox.
20 bad ones. And my guys are in their prime. I get my guys in their prime, not when they were on the White Sox.
See what the Manny Ramirez Sox. 24 games. He batted .261, OBP of .420, slug .319. It's not bad. Did he hit any of the park? One. He got a singular home run in 20. That's not bad.
I think it was the last home run of his career.
It was. He was the last home run of his career. That's our guy. All right. That's
our guy. He's our guy.
Harold Baines. Let's see here. Career WAR of 38.7. Batting average of 289. OBP 356 and OPS plus 121. So, yeah, the Hall of Fame member, 22-year career.
Very clutch hitter, if you believe in clutch stats. He is one of those guys.
Clutch is a real stat. Clutch matters.
I agree too.
It doesn't matter. It does.
The nerds will tell you it doesn't. It's not real. The nerds will tell you that it is not a real thing. And who's out there playing? Not the nerds.
The nerds also told Kevin Cash to take out Blake Snell after 2 rounds to the Dodgers, and we all saw how that worked out. So,
also, the nerds helped Billy Beane pick his team, but when did he ever win a World Series? I think the answer is never.
Boston, I think. No, it wasn't the one who orchestrated that with the Red Sox?
That wasn't Billy Beane. Billy Beane's the A's guy.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure went to Boston at some point. At least the end of the movie. Went to Boston at the end of the movie.
Whatever.
Front office, athletics. Athletics.
Dio Epstein was the Red Sox guy.
Dio Epstein. Yeah, he never. Yeah, he stayed with the A's. Dumb. He should have gone to Boston. They're richer. That's a stat that matters in baseball. Your ability to pay people a lot more money.
All right, who's next?
You're up. Your guy.
All right, I'll go with second base. Just moving down the list here. This pick he may not necessarily be the best player to have ever played second base for the White Sox, but he is one of my all-time favorite players to have played second base for the White Sox, and that is Ray Durham.
Ray Durham. Get here. I got boy Luis Aparicio.
Aparicio.
I'm kidding. All right, we practiced that for like an hour. I kept throwing an N in there for some reason, but Luis Aparicio is my second baseman. Ray Durham, though, let's go ahead and check out Ray. Played with the White Sox, Jordan's career.
Yeah, played for a while.
OPS plus 104, not bad. Take that guy. WAR 33.8, solid. That's a solid stat line. We got Luis here, baseball reference. 55 WAR, OPS plus of 82. So that he wasn't contact bat. That's somebody he's still in the 9-hole. He's not going to strike out.
His OPS plus career is 104, so I'll take it.
Who, Ray Durham?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ray Durham, OPS plus 104, batting average 277, and he was also cool.
He's very fast. He's super fast.
You went on the base pass. let's go third base. I'm going to go somebody who had great defense in the hot corner, Robin Ventura.
Ooh, yep.
Give me that defense all day.
Yes, Robin Ventura was a great player, horrible manager for the White Sox. Awful, god-awful manager. But great player. He's also my third baseman.
Hey!
I think that's pretty unanimous. He's the best third baseman to ever have played for the White Sox. Maybe Ron Santo on my team, like the Hall of Fame version of Ron Santo. He was like pretty busted when he came over to the White Sox from what I've read. You know, I wasn't alive then, but like I heard he was real rough when he came down the south side.
Robin is currently the best one for a career, but that could change very soon. Like within the next 5 years could change.
Well, we'll see about that because Robin Ventura could absolutely crush the baseball out of the ballpark.
Yeah. He finished OPS plus 114, career WAR 56.
Yeah, Ron Santo, his 1 year on the White Sox, 117 games, OPS plus of 69.
That's a season.
Yeah, the 221 batting average. And that's on base 293.
I heard that was Danny Mendick's favorite player, the White Sox version of him growing up, specifically.
Yeah. White Sox on Santo.
Tries to idolize him every time.
He was pretty good on the Cubs, though.
Hey, Robbie Ventura, 294 home runs, almost there at the 300 mark.
Robin Ventura was a very good player for a very long time.
You're up. Who you got?
Your base, shortstop. So shortstop, this is gonna be another kind of surprising one. I was thinking of maybe going with, one of those guys who came for a cup of coffee, like maybe Omar Vizquel, or maybe like Rolls Royce Clayton. But I went with, or maybe Tadahito Iguchi. I was thinking to put him in there, but I went with Timothy Anderson.
You got to put him in. If we're building an all-time White Sox lineup, that's your leadoff guy.
He should legally change his name to Mr. White Sox.
He absolutely should. They should put a statue of him outside Guaranteed Rate right now.
Start building it.
Matt and I will build it. And we'll just leave it. We'll just leave it in front of the stadium. Matt and I are welders.
Many skills.
Our skill set. Guys, a career batting average of 286, OPS plus currently of 118. And he's hit over 300 the past 3 seasons. I mean, he's
a beast.
His defense has gotten a lot better.
It has.
Homegrown.
He was kind of a butcher when he first came up, but he wasn't like a lifer baseball player. He kind of just got into it toward the tail end of high school. Because he was like a pretty good basketball player, I think.
Yeah, junior year of high school, he started playing baseball because I don't think he was getting like college looks for basketball. So he's like, I guess I'll just go be a professional baseball player now.
Good for him.
And he's, probably the best looking dude on the team. So
yeah,
Tim Anderson. I'll go right field. A man who just made the Hall of Fame, rightfully so, and opened up a lot of doors for Hispanic players. Minnie Minoso.
Oh, yes. I think he's the first Cuban to play in Major League Baseball and kind of started that Cuba to White Sox pipeline that even to this day is still going. That's a good pick. I don't have much to say about his playing career because I never saw him play. But apparently he was like the nicest person. Like we're talking Mr. Rogers level niceness coming from that guy. I read a story on Twitter about him. There was like some kid wandering around the stadium after a game, and he just drove him home to Evanston.
Gee, yeah. That's
He just gave him a random kid a ride home after the game.
can you imagine being 12 being like, hope my Uber gets here soon. Manny Minoso?
Hop on in.
Hop on in. There's stories that he went to like a Jewel Osco near the Gold Coast. A guy I listened to, another podcast I listened to, he worked there growing up, and he said that he used to walk Manny Minoso. Like every time he walked in, he'd be like, "Hey, Manny, you need what aisle you need to go to? I'll walk you there right now." And apparently, he was super nice to him and just told him, what he thought about the White Sox. And guy's a legend. Probably will be like if there's not a Mr. White Sox, Tim Anderson, he is probably the Mr. White Sox. He played what, 5 different decades? 4? 4 of them?
Yeah, he was like 50 and was playing or something.
46 to 64. And then 1976, he had 2 games played. 1980, 2 games played. So the White Sox worked really hard at trying to get him into
every decade.
Who do you got out in right field, Matt?
So my right fielder, this may come as probably not a surprise to any like White Sox diehards, but one of my favorite players as a kid. Played a couple seasons with Ray Durham on the White Sox. Made the playoffs, I think once in like 2000. But my right fielder is Maglio Ordonez. And he is an absolute beast of a hitter. Like I was looking back on his stats and I didn't even like realize how good he was. Like Maglio and Frank Thomas, that was a beastly 1-2 punch they had in that lineup. And then
he went batting average, dang, 309.
Yeah, he's an absolute beast, absolute monster.
Missed
batted 363 in 2007 for the Tigers. So we went to Detroit and was a stud for them.
Missed out on the party though by a year. Same birthday as my dad, January 28th.
Good to know.
OPS plus 125. Yeah, could you imagine trying to work through the lineup, getting Frank Thomas and then Maglio Ordonez.
Maglio Ordonez. Maglio. That's what the stadium used to do when he was coming up to bat. For you youngins.
Like me.
Like you, yeah.
Kiddos out there.
For the kiddos. It was pretty cool.
I think you're up. I think we're down to our last 2 people at the carrying a stick up to the dish. So
center field and DH, correct? Oh, we got catcher too.
Oh yeah, we do have catcher.
I think we probably have the same catcher.
Maybe.
Right, you have Omar Narvaez for years, right? My center fielder is Ken Griffey Jr., probably the greatest center fielder of all time. One of the best power hitters, one of the best fielders. You and he also had a great play for the White Sox to get him in the play-in game against the Twins, game 163, the blackout game. Gunned down, I don't remember who it was at home plate, but he gunned someone down at home plate and got him in the playoffs that year. I don't think his stay here was very impressive, but the body of work is what gets him on my team.
He actually pretty decent numbers. 41 games, 3 bombs, batted 260, OBP of 347. Pretty good. Trade end of the year trade deadline guy. Pretty solid numbers.
Yeah.
Short stint. Best player all time. Where do you put him?
I mean, you could very much argue that he's the best player ever.
I'd take him over Babe. I think he's better than Babe Ruth.
Yeah, I mean, and he had a lot of injury, a little bit of trouble with injuries throughout his career that kind of took a lot of games away from him, especially when he was with Cincinnati. And if he didn't get those injuries, he might have been a 700 home run guy.
Yeah, he made it to 630. He made 11 straight All-Star games.
He was pretty good. He's pretty good. He had his own shoes. He was great. He used to rob home runs all the time. Everyone tried to, do his batting stance when you're like hitting homers in the backyard. Couldn't do it lefty though.
Look, dude, if you're gonna pick Ken Griffey Jr. as your backyard baseball player, you have to bat lefty.
Bat lefty.
Patrolling center field for me, I got Luis. I got Lou Bob out there.
Ooh.
I say this with full confidence, and he's played like a total of like 150 games. Yeah, he hasn't hit 200 yet. He was hurt. He's gonna be the best White Sox player behind Frank Thomas of all time. I don't know if he'll ever be more iconic than the Big Hurt, but he is going to win multiple MVPs as the White Sox.
I hope so. That sounds awesome. If he's anywhere close to as good as Frank Thomas, I think he's worth every single dollar they paid for him, and twice that on Sunday.
Lifetime White Sox, probably not, but he's going to be somebody who wins 2 MVPs. I think with them starting in 2022.
Skills, dude. He has the skills. He can do everything.
Yeah, he is a true 5-tooler and.
Very
fast. And a huge piece of that. He covers Luis and whoever, or he covers Eloy and whoever they just decide to put in right field. He's like, don't even worry about this part of it. I got it. Worry about the plays down the line.
He's so fast and so good, but he also reads the ball off the bat perfectly. Which is like probably the top skill for the best defenders is they're very good at reading the ball off the bat. And then he's got the super speed. He just gets to everything.
Yeah.
Can't even hit it. If you hit it into center field, it's an out.
Anything that carries a little bit that doesn't leave the park, that whole area, just take a walk to the dugout. It's over.
He's pulling it in every time. Guy's a beast. Love him.
I'll leave the DH surprise to you, Matt. I'll go catcher here. Yuri Mercedes. No, I'm kidding.
Yes.
I want somebody who's gonna throw hands behind the dish, right? I want that fire behind the dish. I want AJ Pierzynski as my catcher.
Oh, AJ Pierzynski. He had a great career with the White Sox. I don't think I ever saw him throw a single person out, but that's fine. He was really good offensive player, especially at the catcher position. Rubs people the wrong way. Other teams hate him. His teammates love him. He dyed his hair a lot. Kind of just looked like a total douchebag. Love AJ Pierzynski.
Has a cool goatee too.
Stole first base. I mean, does it get any cooler than that?
Hey, that ball was dropped. It was a drop third strike, okay? That was the rule.
Hey, it worked.
Yeah, I want somebody who's willing to throw hands with the entire Cubs organization behind the dish for me.
Yeah, that was great when Michael Barrett sucker punched him.
Who do you got?
So mine's, I think, the obvious choice, Carlton Fisk, Hall of Fame player. I think he split his time pretty evenly. I think he might have played more seasons with the White Sox than the Red Sox. Gets a lot of DUIs, so that's kind of cool with Tony La Russa. But, it's Carlton Fisk. That's like the original Pudge. You got to go with Carlton Fisk.
Let's see here. I think, is it like 12 years with the Sox? Yeah, he had one. He had the same. It looks, he had one extra year with the Sox. I'm not going to include his 2 games he played for the Red Sox in 1969 and the tally. That doesn't count. Just doesn't. Got rostered for 2 games. Yeah, man. Carlton Fisk, iconic guy. Knows his ABCs too when he's hammered, unlike Tony.
Yeah, Tony struggled with those, which, if you have 3 wines during dinner, that's, maybe he had more than 3.
All right, we got DH, starting pitcher, relief pitcher, and closer left.
Designated hitter for me, since I didn't have him penciled in for first base, it's got to be the Big Hurt. Frank Thomas. The Big Hurt. Love the Big Hurt. Can't really, probably the best DH ever. Some people probably say David Ortiz. But David Ortiz is a juicer. He's a cheater. Okay, he was on the Mitchell Report. You know who wasn't? Big Frank. Big Frank, as Ozzie Guillen would say. Big Frank.
I got Big Frank.
Big Hurt. We got the Big Hurt in the DH, and he's going to crush home runs.
He is first designated hitter to make the Hall of Fame. I got the Big Hurt staring at me every day at the office now, and it is the coolest thing in my house. Most iconic White Sox player of all time, outside of Minnie.
Big Frank. Beast. Absolute freak. One of the greatest hitters ever. He's in the Hall of Fame. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer, and he's still underrated. Like, people do not realize how good Frank Thomas was.
What's the video you showed?
Like, it's him and Ted Williams, like the 2 best right-handed hitters. Like, Frank Thomas is like one of the best hitters to have ever played baseball.
What was the video you showed me? How far would that ball would have gone if it would have left 3 rivers? Well, was somebody did math on it? Like 600 feet, right?
Yeah. Just a huge beast of a dude. I might just go out and buy some Nugenics right now just to pump up Frank Thomas. That's how pumped I am about talking about Frank Thomas.
500 home run guy. Freak. 301 batting average. Slugging was 555 for his career. And he hit the ball a mile and really hard.
I mean, look at this 1994 OPS plus 212. 212. Okay, so OPS plus, everything over 100 is basically 1% better than the average player.
So over double better than your average player.
Freak.
OPS plus that year, 1217.
And he's got
1,217.
And he's got 521 home runs to show for it. Crushing the ball throughout his career, murdering the baseball.
Back-to-back MVP in 93-94. Guy is still huge too. Still big.
Beast. Frank, come on the pod.
Come on the pod. You know what? Nugenics, dude. I'll buy 1,000 things.
Frank, I will buy so much Nugenics if you come on to the show. All right, we will buy.
I'll use your promo code.
I'll use my whole next paycheck to get Nugenics.
I'll use promo code Big Hurt for 35% off. All right, let's go. Frank Thomas is sick.
Big Frank. We could talk about him for days.
We should just do a show on Frank Thomas sometime. Pitcher. Who's your starting pitcher?
My starting pitcher is a little skinny left-handed guy, Chris Sale.
Same. I went back and forth between him and Steve Stone, but Chris Sale is just...
Ooh, the Stone Pony.
Yeah, Stone Pony. His stats with the White Sox weren't that good, so I went with Chris Sale. Because he always kicked off the rebuild. Like, he was like
Chris
the
Sale
first one moved, really.
Amazing. An amazing pitcher. Just an incredible player, really. Loved him on the White Sox. That's probably one of the most even trades to maybe have ever occurred in baseball. Red Sox get a World Series out of it. White Sox kick off their rebuild with Yohan Moncada being the top draw in that, and then they also got Kopech out of it, and he's hopefully going to be a building block guy moving forward. But Red Sox get Chris Sale and a World Series, and doesn't look like he. I'm surprised he didn't cut up the yellow jerseys they were wearing this year.
Hey, Chris, you're pitching this today. No, I'm not.
Not those ones.
No, wrong dude. Was it strikeouts per 9, 2015 Chris Sale, 11.8. He's getting like 12 guys a game, which is a wild number to carry over a 162 game season. Yeah, guy's a stud. He's starting every time and twice on Sunday.
We'll see if his arm holds up for the rest of his career, because he's kind of got a very violent pitching motion, and he's, very thin guy. Doesn't have a lot of mass behind him, so very violent pitching motion, kind of really weird way to throw it, sidearm kind of. But I hope he has a long career. I love Chris Sale. I know he's kind of like maybe kind of a douchebag personally, but as a player, he's great.
It's cool, dude. Hall of Famer, you think he'll get in eventually?
We'll see.
Out?
His arm's kind of maybe falling off, but I don't know if he's going to be a Hall of Famer.
Hopefully
he's got a lot more pitching he needs to do that.
Yeah.
He could be one of those guys that ends up in the pen in like kind of the second half of his career. He was pretty successful coming out of the pen when he initially came up for the White Sox, so it's something I think he could do. He could close, and if he still has the velocity. I don't know if he's going to be able. Yeah, I don't know if he's going to be able to keep pitching, as a starter for too much longer.
Yeah, he missed all 2020, which a lot of guys did. But this past year, he came back late, went 5-1, 42 innings pitched, and had an ERA of 3.16. So
that's pretty good. But I think his arm was sore again when he came back.
At the end of the year. He didn't. I don't think he pitched really in the postseason at all. I think if he did, it was pretty short lived. He mimicked what the White Sox
got lit up in the game.
Yeah. Relief pitcher, I got Goose. Okay, he's my bridge guy. I got Goose coming out. All right. Sinker baller, can throw like 100 miles per hour. Give me it out of the pen.
Yeah, I don't really know anything about him because he's kind of old. Maybe I'll have to call my dad and we can have him on the show, and he can tell us about Goose Gossage and all these old guys. But my relief pitcher, I couldn't decide because I'm going to go with Bobby Jenks. So Bobby Jenks is my relief pitcher, the big boy. He was so fun to watch, like hawking it at 100 miles per hour, big chunky guy on the mound. And he came in 2005. White Sox had like 3 closers that year. It's amazing that they had such a solid bullpen. They started off with Shingo Takatsu, and then people figured him out and started putting the frisbee onto 90. And then you had the frisbee pitch. It was really cool when he first came in 2004. And then they figured it out in 2005, and it was basically batting practice. And then Dustin Hermanson came in to close, and he ended up messing up his back. And then Bobby Jenks came and locked it down, the end of the season and in the playoffs, and closed out their World Series victory in 2005. Really cool dude. My other pick for relief pitcher was going to be Rod Dibble, who had just like probably the worst pitching performance in the history of Major League Baseball on the White Sox. If anyone wants to have fun, just check out Rod Dibble's stats on the White Sox when on Baseball Reference. It's literally, I read a blog post about it. It was like the worst anyone's ever pitched in Major League Baseball when he was on the Sox. But he had a pretty good career before then. So if I get him in his prime, he's pretty good. But I ultimately decided to go with big Bobby Jenks.
Rob Dibble is basically what Craig Kimbrell became. ERA 6.28,
He's way worse than Kimbrel.
In 16 games. And then they traded him. They got rid of him. They sent him to Milwaukee. Experiment didn't work.
And that guy is an absolute psychopath. If you have some free time, just look up that guy being just a crazy lunatic, and you'll find plenty of videos to back that up. Because he was just like going insane the whole time. He's an absolute psychopath baseball player.
Good, cool dude. I'm sure he was a fun guy to go to like Hobson's with or something like that.
Yeah, I would love to. Like, if I got the fight, I would want that guy to be on my side of the fight.
Him and Bobby Jenks.
Because he's out there like trying to kill. He's out there trying to kill people.
He was like the first bullpen guy to like throw like 100, like well known.
He had 6.28 ERA all day. Let's go.
14 innings pitched. And gave up 10 runs. Oof. Not good.
27 walks in 16 games. That's bad.
That's not what we were hoping for.
That's bad.
And then who's closing it for you?
I need a closer and a relief
who's-
pitcher. Oh, I think
Yeah, I got both.
that's
I
the
got Bobby
kid,
Big Pen, baby.
as the kids say, I didn't understand the assignment. Bobby Jakes is my closer. No, you know what I'll say? I'll say Liam Hendricks. When it's all said and done, he'll be the best closer to ever play for the White Sox.
Yeah. I want him mic'd up every single game. Him at the All-Star game where he's like, it's not working. I can't. It's working.
He was awesome.
Will he break Bobby Thigpen's record? Probably.
I don't know.
57 saves?
I don't know. It depends on how long they hold on to him, you know?
No, in a single season.
Oh.
57 saves in a single season, I think, is a record by Bobby Thigpen.
I don't know. I'm hoping they don't need to get kind of have to play a lot of close games to get that. I'm kind of hoping the White Sox blow people out finally.
You're probably right.
If their offense comes together the way I think it will, they're going to be blowing people out.
Yeah, 1990, 57 saves. Yeah, I would rather Liam have like 3 saves, but like 40 appearances, and they just like we're up 15-0 every night. That'd be way more fun.
It'd be really cool.
So you want to give your full 9 one more before we go?
Yeah, we got Tommy, Ray Durham at second base, Robin Ventura third, Tim Anderson shortstop, left field Manny Ramirez, center field Ken Griffey Jr., right field Maglio Ordonez, catcher Carlton Fisk, and designated hitter Big Frank.
And
Chris Sale, Bobby Jenks, and Liam Hendricks.
Did that team win in the Central?
That team could probably win 120 games.
We got AJ behind the plate, Jim at first, Luis at second, Tim Anderson leading it off at shortstop, Robin at third, Harold in left, Luis in center, Minnie in right, and Frank in the 4-hole, hitting nukes every single time he's hitting a home run. Every single of his ABs, home runs. Got Sale, Goose, and Big Pen. Those
Pretty good teams. Pretty good teams.
White Sox got a lot of fun players. Whoever your favorite is, let us know either down below or on Instagram. We'll link it in our bio below. And we got some fun stuff planned. I know the lockout sucks, but
we need some news to talk about.
Yeah, we got a couple people who want to come on the show, so maybe some guests. If you want to come on, reach out, let us know, figure it out. Any parting words for our Sox fans, Matt?
Just hang in there, because no one has any idea what's going on and how long it's going to last, and hopefully soon we'll have some more current White Sox news to talk about. But I think me and Chris can come up with some fun stuff to discuss.
We'll do a let's play of MLB The Show. White Sox versus the White Sox.
Let's do it.
Let's
I'll
record
do that.
our PSN chat.
We'll just watch you hit 800 home runs off of me.
We'll play in veteran for you.
I don't think it's gonna help.
Yeah, just sticking there, Sox fans. It's gonna be lockout will end soon. Probably January. I don't think they're gonna miss games.
Ooh,
I think they're smart enough to know.
God, I hope they don't miss games.
I hope so, man. I hope so. I doubt they're talking though right now. I bet everybody's at home enjoying Christmas and New Year's, and then they'll figure it out in January.
I hope so. I hope you are back, my friend.
Go Sox.
Go White Sox.